Okie dokie. Let's get started. Let's get it started. Okay. I'm excited. I really tried out Ragavan in this list. I think it just kind of makes sense though. Just like, honestly, like this one Flicker Wisp also should just be something else. But don't really know what I want to try out instead of Flicker Wisp. The problem is the issue is Imperial Recruiter isn't Ranger Captain of or I think that's what it's called. Ranger Captain something. It doesn't find Flicker Wisp, which is the problem. Uh-oh. Which is the problem. Okay, hand's gas. Hand is perfect. Aether Vial, and then when you have two canyons, it kind of just like means that like, you know, these are kind of irrelevant anyway later in the game, so. Oh, and that was a pretty good draw as well. So yeah, this hand seems pretty sweet. Okay, what does Polluted Delta mean? Okay, I'm guessing this is a counterspell deck. We just have to assume that, I guess. Oh, is this mill? Okay. Well. Okay. Well, playing out the Arid Mason now seems like a mistake. Definitely is a mistake. It's okay though. It's a tad bit annoying because we're definitely gonna want to fetch here. But I don't think we have to necessarily. Yeah, playing out this fetch land really sucks now. I think we're gonna have to fetch, sadly. I guess, okay, taking 3 is like okay. Yeah, this is fine, whatever. We'll bite the bullet for having this slight misstep, but it'll be okay. Okay. And like the way they played it, it kind of seems like they don't have a fetch land, so like just having this mill us 3 is like fine. Yeah. It's okay. Plus now we just get to vial in the Skyclave if we want to. Drown the lock. So that's fine. Yes. Okay. I mean, we're just gonna buy Yorion here. And then vial in the Skyclave. Pop this Ruon Crab. We're just not fetching, I don't think. They can hard cast it next turn, but like that's again fine with me. Oh, maybe they don't have it. Fine, Luris. Okay. That is fine with me. Another Skyclave. That's pretty good. Yeah, no, it kind of sucks that we played this fetch land. It really did just like make this game a lot closer than it needed to be, but it's okay. It's okie dokie. I mean, I'd assume they must have one in their hand, right? Like, they just haven't deployed something this entire game. I'd be shocked if it wasn't two of them, but I honestly think that's going to be okay here. So if we draw... Well, Ragavan's interesting. So we can just go Solitude, Skyclave, play Ragavan. Seems like a pretty good turn. Let's lead off with Skyclave here. Guess honestly, we might as well just get the Yorion down now. Let's just do that. Seems pretty good. Play Ragavan. Alright. That's pretty sweet too. We just got to kill their Luris and not give them an illusion, so it's definitely sweet. They could also have like the draw 3 Visions from Beyond. That's definitely something. Visions Beyond and a Archive Trap. Yeah, it seems like they're just holding up Archive Trap this turn. Alright. Couldn't imagine them coming back from this, but we'll see. Yeah, there's the trap. I think we've known about for quite a while. Sweet. I mean, it was pretty clear they had at least one. I'd be surprised if they didn't have two Archive Traps in their hands. Just don't believe there's anything else that makes sense. What do we want here? Probably want Batterskull. Batterskull seems a little slow. Although we probably just want extra things here. Kind of just mulligan to a land. Protection from black. Sanctum Prelate actually seems pretty sweet. Revoker doesn't seem that great. Sanctum Fire. Remorseful Cleric has some utility, I think. Neon Crusader is also probably just fine, and maybe Magus is okay here. They do play quite a few basics, but we could just get them, you know. Leonin Relic Warder. I'm also kind of down to pitch this. Maybe Needle could be like interesting, but I don't think we want that. Revoker is definitely a no. Harshminter is no. I think honestly both these are just like fine cards. This maybe Mind Sensor is okay. I'll just chuck it in as an extra card. We have 88 cards here, so we're already pretty favored just because we're Yorion deck. So, but I mean, has lands. They mulligan. I'll keep it. Has lands. I mean, it's definitely gonna be kind of tough, but they're on a mold of 4. We have 81 cards still left in our deck. Yeah, it's kind of hard. Plains was a good draw too. Sadly, we're not going to play this Saga on turn 2, because we're just going to play Sanctum Fire and then into Skyclave and or Archon. Also might have been worth just shocking in the Sacred Foundry just in case they have a Mesmeric Orb, but I think that's something kind of small. Something kind of small. Okay. Not even buying Luris. So that's definitely a little sketch. That is very sketch. Guess we're gonna just play Archon here. Like, it's just like a fine card. I think I'm fine also if they counter it. Still have Luris as the companion, so I don't really know what's going on. Okay, just drawing, cycling that. Seems like it's weird they didn't do that on their turn. 11 cards in the bin. Okay. Next turn we get to go Skyclave, Aether Vial. Yeah. Okay. We're definitely in like a fine spot, right? Yeah. Saga's interesting. This is like definitely not the matchup you want this card realistically, but like it's fine here. They're getting rid of our Skyclaves. Okay. That makes it a little bit worse. Well, now they can't play 2 spells, so we do get to play this Recruiter for free. In the sense that they can't archive trap us, so... Oh, but I can't play both. Oops. Well, that's fine. I think that's fine. I don't know what I would get. We probably would have gotten... 53. Definitely buying time. Definitely buying some time. Well, that was a very good draw, so... That's probably one of our better draws, because it allows us to actually deploy something while also just having Urza Saga's tokens getting made, so... Kind of the best draw possible. Buying Luris now. And they can't even archive trap us here, so... I think we just... Oh, they milled our... I was saying we should probably just get the relic here, but they kind of got rid of it, so it's okay. So we get a 2-drop, so we probably should just get Stoneforge, because then we have Cauldron coming down next turn. And then we can also get, I guess we only have 1 equipment and Batterskull left. Or we get Charming Prince. What does Charming Prince really do? Does really nothing. So I think Stoneforge is by far our best pick here. And we're just going to do it now because they can't archive trap us. Oh wait, what? I didn't see that. I guess we do have the Sword of Feast and Famine, which I'm definitely going to get that instead. Yeah, I'm definitely going to get that instead. It's definitely the better pickup here. Pretty much puts them on a pretty fast clock. Like, they kind of can't do too much. Like, what do they get to play Luris here. Luris does nothing. Can't even cast a spell, so. Took both these up. Solitude was a sweet draw. So now, put sword into play. I think we just equip here. Swing with everything. Nothing they can realistically kill. Can't block Recruiter, and all the other ones are like chump blocks. So, it's fine. Then we get to Solitude it now. Or we could, what? What could we do? Could have Yorion, but I think we just want to Solitude this. I think they're just dead next turn. We get Cauldron, so we have this +5. We can't even play another spell here. Now we have a Magus, which doesn't do anything realistically. I guess we just swing with everything, right? Don't know how their blocks look, but that seems so. It's super interesting. Like maybe you could be you need mana to cast Ragavan though, so it's kind of close. Oh my god, we're both on 80 cards. Hell yeah. Definitely keep. We got a Ragavan turn 1. That's kind of sweet. Ragavan and the Stoneforge and the Skyclave. Seems pretty sweet. What are they on? Let's see. Forest. Sprawl. Okay. I feel like they are on Niv. Niv makes the most sense. Niv makes the most sense. Pillar of the Perunes, yeah, it has to be Niv. So definitely being on the draw here is going to be a pain. Definitely being on the draw is going to be a pain, but it'll be okay. It'll be fine. On thin ice. I think we play the Stoneforge Mystic out. Just get ourselves a Cauldron. Cauldron's like pretty good against that. I think pretty good against these decks at least. We also get to go Cauldron and Ragavan next turn, which is like a pretty decent little turn. Or on thin ice, Cauldron. I couldn't imagine they're going to deploy a threat though here. They could, but more unlikely to me. I think you need a black source. Don't think this definitely isn't Verdict. I mean, Verdicting away just a single Stoneforge Mystic also seems a little bit weak, but okay. Blue. Is this another Teferi? What is this? Abundant Growth into a Teferi? Vindicate. Okay. I mean, we can still dash this Ragavan. Seems loose. Could also pop one of their Utopia Sprawls. That seems a little wary. But then, I actually don't mind that. I'm going to do that. Definitely could be bad here, but I think we're going to pop the one naming blue as well. Yeah, we'll just pop the one naming blue. Then we get to go Dash, Ragavan, and Stoneforge. Like, this is definitely best if they don't have a land here, but that's a little bit of a stretch. And they do have a land. Oh. This is definitely gonna be a hard match. Like, this is definitely a deck that if you... What are they doing? They try and... What are they trying to do? I think they're trying to play Niv here, but they can't. So that's pretty sweet. Okay, this is fine. This is 100% fine. It's definitely going to be an awkward game for us, but I think this is fine. So let's go Saga. And then Skyclave. Honestly, I think the Abundant Growth is really going to hurt them here. But maybe this is wrong. Go Ragavan. Could have been wrong. Okay, Agath Triome. It's a tad bit annoying. Are they going to go verdicting here? Seems like they're going to get a verdict. Which would be annoying. Definitely annoying, but it'll be okay, I guess. Yeah, they're going to do it at instant speed, right? It's weird because, like, we want to on thin ice this illusion out of the way, but I think we all know what's going to happen here. I think they're bring to lighting for a whatchamacallit. Let's see. Blue, black, green, white. I don't have a red source, so they can't even Niv here, which is pretty good for us. If they're bring to lighting for a verdict, I think that's okay. I'm surprised they didn't doing this at instant speed. Valky, okay, that makes sense. That one makes some sense. Windswept Teeth and what? Did we get a Windswept Teeth and they got a Windswept Teeth? Okay. Charming Prince. Okay. Well, we could get, so we can on thin ice here, then get Maul, play Maul, but we can't kill Tybalt here, so let's just start off by on thin icing here. Seeing what happens. Kill Tef. Attack them with Ragavan. We didn't get anything. Rip. Ugh, man. It's gonna be a hard game. Yes. Yes. I think we should get sword here. Let's see, how much mana do we have next turn? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we could Oh, they're exiling our Stoneforge Mystic. I mean, we can hard cast this Cauldra. They're playing their own Stoneforge out. So what we can do, actually, which seems like a pretty sweet play, we can play Charming Prince, exile the Stoneforge Mystic, play Sword, equip Sword, and kill the Tybalt. I mean, they're going to get this Niv down, but... Wait, did they get a Cauldra? Am I dumb? Did they just reveal a Cauldra to me? I think they did. Wait, what? Yeah, they did. What the fuck? That's so wild. No, they play their own Stoneforge Mystics. That's crazy. Okay. Well, that's wild to me. That's really insane to me. But, alright. Guess that's fine. I mean, like, we're here. We are here. We're killing Tybalt. Guess we get the Maul. I think the Maul's more important to me than Batterskull, but they're probably gonna board wipe here. But I guess we're still gonna have Cauldra down, so I think Maul is more important than Batterskull. Definitely an interesting game. They have 8 cards. Jeez. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. Well, at least they only have 8 mana. So if they had 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, if they had 9 mana, now they have 8 mana, so they could just Tef and hold up Bring to Light for a board wipe. It's pretty good. But they kind of don't want us to untap with Stoneforge Mystic, because then we just get to flash in the Cauldra. So yeah. They can't really race us here, because we're going to be doing too much damage on the crackback. Especially with Cauldra in play and a Maul. Like, they're going to be taking 2, 8, 10, 11. Yeah, they're already dead on board. And they know we have a Cauldra, so they're definitely dead. They're fetching as well. I guess they're going to have to fetch Shock more than likely here. I mean, there's a world where we win this game. Definitely going to be a hard game to win, but definitely is a world where we win this game. Still, like, choked on blue mana. I only have 1 blue source. So that might have been a mistake. That's definitely a mistake, right? Because now they can't Teferi and Bring to Light. So now they're just going to have to Bring to Light. I think. I think they have to, yeah. Get a board wipe. Then hold up Trophy, I guess. Seems a little weird. I don't know. I feel like they effed up a little bit here. Because they're going to be going down to 5 now. And a Calder's going to be on the battlefield. And I guess they have a Teferi to bounce it. So if they're playing Teferi here, I feel... Huh. Why are they playing Teferi? That seems really weird to me. Why are they playing Teferi? They have a trophy for Ragavan. They go to... I guess that does it, right? I don't know how we can win this game now that they did that. Because they do have trophy for Ragavan. It's awkward. Because they just have lethal on the crack back here. Because we know they have a Cauldra. So we can't go for Cauldra here. We could go for Stoneforge, play Batter's Skull, and attack here. I mean, what? Man, we gotta start off with an attack, right? I think that's what we're gonna have to do. And figure out from there. I mean, we know what's gonna happen here. A recruiter. What does a recruiter do? What does a recruiter do? It could get Skyclave, which is nothing. Sanctum, Charming Prince. I don't think does anything. Man, we're just gonna start off with attacks here. They're probably gonna have the trophy this Ragavan. We're gonna get an extra land out of the deal. They have a Kaya's Guile. Oh, that's annoying. Please trophy something. Sweet. Trophying the sword, which I mean I'm fine with. Which I am fine with. Okay. So now we can buy and use Yorion here. I think that's what we have to do. Let's just get our mountain. I don't know if it's going to matter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, we don't even have enough mana for that. Ugh. Man. Recruiter gets what? Mystic gets what? I think Mystic's the right play. Get Batter Skull, play Batter Skull. It's a little awkward, but I think we don't really have anything else that we can do here. So, let's do it. And they probably have us here. We've been like thoroughly behind since the get up of this game. Okay. Yeah, they also have Ren here. Yeah, so we're just dead. But there's too many things we have to play around, right? Like we can't play around Ren. We can't play around Cauldra. I mean, there's probably a way we were just dead to the Ren there, which I didn't think about, but there's just too many. I think there was just way too many things to have to think about there. Definitely get Needle. Magus, definitely. Revoker is probably fine. Sanctifier's bad here, for sure. Same with the Skyclave Cleric. Flicker Wisp. I don't think this is a Batter Skull matchup. Don't think we ever really realistically won Batter Skull. Eidolon Rhetoric's probably also just fine here. Anthen Ice is like weird. It's like fine, but like that's really not what we're here to do. I think Sanctum Prelate's also just fine. don't think there's anything else like popping off the screen here. So I'll just submit this. Just submit it. Submit it and rip it. Maybe Mirror Crusader's okay. This hand's pretty good. Hand's pretty Gucci. Cast a good old Ragavan. Next turn we get to go Revoker and Giver. I think realistically we're gonna name Rin in 6 here. Just kills too much of our shit. Like way too much. I don't know what we'd cast off of them. Kaya's Guile? Nah. It's just not. Rin and 6. This is a pretty good start for us. I mean, we're just attacking for 4 while ramping, buying Yorion next turn, and like ramping up to this Cauldron. Okay, it's fine. I think we're honestly just gonna unthen-ice this and just get it out of the way. And we got a Thalia. Yeah, that deal. Yeah, it seems like it's pretty hard for them to come back from this position. Like, they're just dead next turn. Or not next turn, the turn following. So, I think we're pretty good here. Think we are good here. So, a chance we're not just, like, completely winning. But I don't know what they could play here. It'd probably have to be, like, a trophy or a helix or something like that. But they have to do it to the giver. Which, like, is fine. It's also fine. Guess I could have Verdict next turn. Verdict would be super annoying. Hi, Reddy. How's it going? Okay. Got a Stoneforge Mystic. That's pretty amazing. Yes. Let's get Fire and Ice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How's work going? Okay. Oh, this is going to be the really hard game. Like, a really, really hard game. Like, it doesn't help that we're probably not favored in this game to begin with. Oh. Oh, okay. RIP. Just take all these Anthonices out. It is going. It is going. That's a fair screaming. Let's put in a mirror in. Let's try it. Okay. Hand's good. Hand's quite good. Doesn't actually get started till turn 2, but that's fine. Don't play Ren. Oh my god, they didn't have Ren. Pog champ. No sympathy. Let's go. Let's freaking go. Guess they take the recruiter here. I think it's by far the best card. Could take Charming Prince, but that seems bad, right? Guess they're not turning it into recruiter, but just like denying us that card's so big. So big time. Oof, we're good at this game. I wonder if they just misclicked. You ready to eat your food? Can you hear me now? Question mark. Yay or nay? Yeah or nah? Okay, let's see what's going on. Is this a Ren and 6? Because we will flick our Thalia in response. Okay. Seems like a weird play by them, considering they know that we have this Charming Prince. And like this Ren's not surviving here. And I guess maybe that's their goal, is to just like have this Ren eat some damage. Definitely tick this up. We'll see what we draw for sure. We want a Vial. I think what we're gonna do here is get Pithing Needle and just name Ren and just not have to worry about it. Especially since we got another Vial. Yeah, let's just name Ren so we don't have to attack it. Just name Ren, don't gotta attack it, so it's pretty awesome for us. And if they want to chump, yeah, this is fine. They're giving us a recruiter back, so can't play Vial. So yeah, we'll just pass it. Just pass it on up. We could have gotten Giver, to be honest, but I think that's fine. I think what we want to do is just Vial and Recruiter, get Magus, upkeep Vial and Magus, tick up Aether Vial, buy Yorion. I mean, they're also just dead on board here, but they could have Kaya's Guile, I guess. But there's just going to be too much pressure for them to overcome, yeah. So Urza Saga definitely showed its strength there. Just made 2 4/4s, turned off a Ren and 6. Like, card just alright. Our mana base was a little awkward there, considering we had 2 red cards in hand. But like, since like we find Vial so consistently in our Yorion deck now with oh my god, what's the card? Urza Saga. It's like fine. It's almost like a red source. So like, we're probably not playing enough actual red sources, but considering that Vial acts as a red source, I think it's good enough to me. So, like, it's definitely a slow red source, but it's a red source in my opinion. Oop. Lagging up a storm here. Good old MTGO, lagging up a storm. I've been thoroughly happy with this list. I also shoved in these Charming Princes. This Flickerless, I think, should just be out of the deck. I don't know what we would want it to be as, but also the Skyclave Cleric, I think, is a pretty good card to have in the deck, just as a one of. Like, it's a land that you can find with Recruiter if you like desperately need a land for some reason. Also, just like small utility in some matchups. Gaining 2 life into 1/3 body is like okay. But mainly finding it as a land is like definitely what you want. And it's almost like playing at 32 lands in the deck if you really need it to be. So I really do like these modal face like creature cards that you can find with Recruiter. I don't know of many other ones, but like that just seems like a card that I should be in like every Death and Taxes list. At least one. Card just seems very good. Trim down a little bit on lands potentially. This hand's kind of slow. Definitely could just be a bad hand here. Do have a turn 1 answer, but Cauldress kind of feels like a mulligan already. Charming Prince isn't the most impactful card on 2. I think we should mulligan this hand. I think this hand's much better. Shall put back... I think we put back the Sword and Fire Nice. Like, here's Skyclave Cleric is just, like, insane, right? Like, we're more than likely not playing this on 1. But we could, like, if they take this Aether Vial with a Thoughtseize, then we definitely have the option to. What is this? Okay, so, like, now we're just going to play this as a land, right? And, like, we're in an okay spot. I think we tend to be pretty decent against these, like, mid-range, dirtily slow decks. I mean, if they have a Rune in 6 next turn, definitely could just be losing the game, but... It'd be interesting if they actually take this Cleric over our Vial. And, like, I guess that would script that they, or, like, kind of, like, convey that they have a Aether Vial. Or not an Aether Vial, a Kolaghan's Command. They take the On Thin Ice, surprisingly. I think we're supposed to slam this Vial. Definitely awkward, but it's okay. It is okay. A Ragavan definitely would be kind of annoying here, but Dothy's a tad bit concerning. We found the land. Found the land we were looking for. I think we want to play Thalia here. Thalia. We might need to play the Skyclave Cleric next turn, though, because if we don't hit the land drop, I think we need to hit our 3rd land drop. Getting up to 3 is pretty important in this match, or in this matchup, or in general with this deck, I think. A bolt. It's fine. They have a discard spell. It's annoying. I think they're going to have to take the Mystic. Skyclave's like... I guess they could take the Skyclave. Yeah. Probably have an answer for Mystic then. What if they sack this Dothy to take out our Vial? That would be a little bit bizarre, right? I think that would be like really, really risky. I think if we don't actually hit a land, I think we're supposed to hold this Cleric. It's definitely like kind of a shitty card, but might come down to that. Thalia makes me just want to play the Thalia. Thalia is definitely a good draw. I don't want to play this cleric unless I have to, either. See if they have a Bloodbraid Elf here. I wonder what we're supposed to get. We probably should get Sword of Fire and Ice or something like that. I think that's what we're meant to get. I mean, there's no way in hell this thing is surviving. It almost feels like we shouldn't get anything, but I think that's what we're meant to get. I think we should tick this up. Next turn we get to play the sword, and then the following turn we get to equip, I guess. It's definitely going to be a close game. Dathi is a beater. Dathi is a super strong magic card. Don't shock. Shocking would be kind of spooky to me. They do. You can get their sky. They might skyclave this sword, to be honest, with Dathi. Just be kind of annoying. And I think we have to tick up this vial to get to Yorion faster. Although Yorion really doesn't do too much, but having Sword on the battlefield kind of answers Dathi, so I think we have to. I mean, we're not really scared of being burned out either, because they've already used 2 bolts at the face, or at creatures, so I think we'll be okay. Like, it's definitely awkward if we draw a 3-drop here, but, I mean, it's also kind of awkward. I think we're meant to do that. I think we are meant to do that. I really do think that was the correct play. Definitely annoying because I mean, we have a sword in our hand, so kind of want to get that down. And if they discard it, it kind of sucks, but I still think I'd rather sword be in the bin than not answering their Dathi. It's the immediate threat. We're gonna have a 4/5 flyer. Definitely ahead here. Definitely ahead here. Ugh, man. Oh, let's buy Yorion. I think Yorion's still just a better play. Yorion just makes the rest of our hand better. I mean, it's just also just a better threat, so. I think I might just, like, vial it in now. Yeah, let's just vial it in now. I shouldn't have done it on the end step. Okay. Guess, yeah, I should have done it on their main phase. I forgot about this. Comes back on our end step. It's okay. It's okay. Let me get the maul here. Just giving something flying seems good enough to me. Oh, don't have a damnation. Damnation would be brutal. Okay. Damnation would be weird, but brutal. Alright. Well, Relic is... They're on Jund, so they're probably on Goyf, right? I'd assume they're on Goyf. I think Pithing Needle and Revoker are fine. Mirren is definitely a good card. Magus is bad, right? Feast and Famine's weird. Sanctum Fires, definitely. Sanctum Fire Invect is definitely good. I think the rest of these cards are just bad. Let's see, the Cleric I think can go. Charming Prince is weird because it's definitely worse with their deck being removal spells. But I think Flicker Wisp is also just worse. Caldra's probably a little bit wary, but like if we ever get it on the battlefield, they probably can't answer it. I think I'm fine taking a Maul the Skyclaves out. Archon's fine. Skyclave's like our best card. Ragavan's a tad bit strange. Solitude's weird too. I think we could trim one. I probably want all of the... I think Charming Prince is probably the worst card in our deck at this point. Just like, it's a little bit weak by itself. Definitely feeds on like having extra copies of cards on the battlefield, so... Definitely is not as good as it should be. Hand's weird. They mold a 6. I think we should keep this on the draw. Hit any land, our hand's just disgusting. Like, Saga's just a good card. Hand's just quite good if we hit a land, or if we have a land on top, in our top 3 cards or something like that. Definitely could lose the game based on the fact that, like, Urza Saga just, like, goes away. So, I mean, we will get a Vial, but obviously some problems will happen, maybe. See what they take here. I mean, assuming they're gonna take, like, they could take Revoker. Okay, Hierarch. I might want to Solitude that. No, I think we're not meant to Solitude it because we have this Revoker. So if they're like, if they are down on cards. Because they are down on cards. Let's just Solitude it. Archon's also, like, not the best card in the world. Like, it's obviously a fine card, but, like, I wouldn't say I put, like, top priority. Like, I would not, if Skyclave was our only card in hand, I think I wouldn't do it. But considering that Archon just, like, kind of a weak card, it's fine. Like, it's just kind of like a 2/3 flyer that doesn't do too much. Okay. Yeah, I think they had a Ren and 6 in hand based on like how long they thought there for a second. So I think that was definitely the right play. Probably gonna just take the Skyclave. We're gonna blankly run out this Revoker on Ren. Okay, they take it. Yeah, they definitely have Ren in hand, right? Definitely have a Ren in hand. So it's awkward, right? Because if they hit a land, like exactly fetch land, then we're going to lose some equity on the Saga, which I think I don't want that because we're so far, I guess we're not so far ahead, but we're definitely ahead here. And the second we lose some value on the Saga, I think we could fall a little bit behind. Like, that's partially the reason we're so far ahead. Just get this Layer Foundry. Okay, play this out. Play the Saga out. Let's get a Recruiter down. Guess we're gonna buy... I'm kind of down to just, like, buy Thalia here. Okay, they conceded. I think getting Thalia, maybe not. Maybe Giver's the best. It's kind of interesting, because, like, next turn, what are we doing? We're just making a token, so... Guess we would have just got, like... I honestly think the best pick is just get another Skyclave, right? Skyclave's just so good. Skyclave is just disgusting, so I think Skyclave's probably the right pick there. It's either that or Giver, I think. Ragavan seems bad because, like, based on like how they played it, they probably have a Rin. So they play Rin, ping the dude, the Imperial Recruiter, and then we Skyclave it. I don't know, that's kind of close. They might not even ping the Imperial Recruiter, they probably would just tick up. That would make the most sense to me. I couldn't imagine, yeah, pinging's so bad. Just like getting your third land drop's definitely more important. Just use Rin as a 2-mana regrowth, realistically. Let's see if we get to go first today. No, we do not. Hand is a mulligan. Not even close. You too, opponent. Wishing us luck. Wishing us the best luck. This was Mesa, might keep, but okay, now this hand's straight gas. Straight gas. Okay. Up against Hammer Time. Definitely spooky. Hammer Time is one of the closest matchups here. Not gonna lie. It's super difficult. Definitely it's much better post-board, but pre-board it's a pretty tough one. Unless we had Kataki in the main right now, but we do not. Skarda's Aid, okay. And Mom is a beast in this matchup, that's what we gotta realize. Archon's not bad. The real question is, what do we get with Imperial Recruiter if we played it out? Let's see. Skyclave is probably the pick, but we can do that next turn. Oops, why do I keep doing that? Yeah, I think this is fine. This is fine, just pro color it. It's like, whatever, I guess. Could have also got Magus, because they're more than likely a deck that we'd actually care about Magus coming down. Another recruiter. Damn. Well, recruiter is really good, but let's get another one down. Urza Saga is kind of spooky, but I think it's fine. Hexproof and haste. You have got it. Another Skyclave. Well, in that case, I think we honestly just want to Skyclave the Swiftfoot boots. But I'm trying to think, like, what could they do here? If they have what's his name? God, what's the Metalcraft creature? Could be bad. In that case, we should exile a Colossus. Actually, we should just get the Shadow Spear out of here. I couldn't imagine them being able to get through 2 givers with no Shadow Spear. Yeah, I think that's the best hit here. Unless they have another one, yeah. Okay. That was definitely interesting, but alright, let's go Kataki, take out this Sanctum Fire, Pithy Needle's good, Magus bad, Leonin Relic Warder is good, Phyrexian Revoker's probably okay, Harsh Mentor's interesting. Remember opponent actually kind of like Harsh Mentor. Don't know if it's actually good here or not, but I kind of like the idea of that card. Skyclave Relic can definitely, or Skyclave Cleric, not Relic, can definitely come out. Same with Flicker Wisp. I mean, all of the swords, all the equipment's kind of hot shit, but so is Thalia. So, like, what you gonna do? Like, realistically, I don't think there's a world we're ever getting Batterskull. Could happen. Maul is probably our best one, just because it gives flying. I think trimming a single Thalia is correct. What else do you want to get rid of? Sort of Fire and Ice is okay. Giver is fine. Thin Ice is good. I mean, Archon of Emiria is also, like, kind of just bad, so I think these are fine cuts. I think Harsh Mentor is, like, sneakily good in this matchup. And honestly, Harsh Mentor probably shouldn't be in the deck anymore. It was kind of there for... it's fine for Heliod, so, like, kind of feels like it's past that, past its glory days. Because Heliod's just not around anymore, so... Okay. Hand's kind of spooky. Hand's not really doing too much either. We might just need to scry here. I think we're probably going to have to scry here, sadly. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to scry here. Neither of those do anything. Yeah, I mean, kind of can't block anything here, so if they have 2 hammers, we die. But I think we can stabilize if they only have 1. Okay, they have 2. Didn't actually matter. It's a very good hand from them. Oh, that was a fasty. That was a quick one. Alright. Submit, I guess. Honestly, I'm down to cut the Mentor for Athalia on the play. I think it's more likely that Athalia is more impactful on the play. Getting down on turn 2 is pretty impressive, I think. But, like, late game, obviously, it's a very awful card, so... I have a Luris companion. Kind of curious. I think this hand's fine. Ragavan is okay. We have a way to clear the way. We have 2-ish removal spells and a giver, so I think this is okay. It doesn't have a Kataki, which I think is the best card in the matchup by like a mile, but it's okay. Really? Like, I am down for that one. Down for Ragavan to get chump blocked. Super excited about that one. Cast our own Ornithopter. I mean, just go Saga. Fetch a snow-covered basic. Go on thin ice. Skyclave. And this is a pretty good start for us. Fine, Laris. Cigar is A, don't really want that. Yeah, let's just pass it. Pass it on up. Get a Saga token here. Okay. Sweet. Wow. Alright. We aren't drawing too hot, but sweet. Kind of kicking ass with this deck. I mean, the deck, I think, is very well tuned right now. I think there's only one card. I think Harsh Mentor is the only card that I don't like in this deck. And to be honest, I would be playing more Ragavan if I could, but I don't have the budget on Mana Traders. I think you'd substitute this Flicker Wisp for a third Ragavan. And I think that's about it, realistically. Although Flicker Wisp still is a very good card, I just think Imperial Recruiter pushes it to the point where like you just can't play the card. I like the Skyclave Cleric. Sanctum Fire in the main's good. I like the rest. I mean, maybe it depends on like your meta call, but same thing goes with like Kataki. Like I could understand like playing a Kataki in the main if you want. Like card is good enough like a certain amount of the time. It's like just completely wins games sometimes. So like having it's like the same reason we run Sanctum Fire in the main. It's like this is a little bit more reasonable because the card's just like it's a fine card. It's a 2/2 for 2. That's just like pro black and red and can exile shit. Like fine card, right? But Kataki, like there's almost no drawback in this deck for you to run one. There is definitely a drawback for Kataki. Like your vials become upkeep 1, batter skulls, like all the tokens you make off of Urza Saga. So like definitely some costs involved. So yeah, it's weird. I think it's reasonable to want that, but I don't think I would. I think having more Ragavans in the deck's definitely a better like spot to be in. It's kind of weird our opponent chump blocked. I don't know why I'm thinking about that still, but they chump blocked their Ornithopter, which I think that was kind of a mistake. I think that was a mistake. Hey, we get to go first. Pog. I think this is fun. It's weird. Saga is just such a good card that I kind of want to keep this hand. Like turn 1, Mesa into Saga plus Thalia is a pretty good start for this deck. Kind of where you want to be. Like it's weird. The more you play with the Saga card, the more you're like, all right, Saga is like by far the best card in this deck. Like it's not particularly close. What does Botanical Sanctum mean? Does this mean it's a what does that mean? I don't know what Botanical Sanctum is. This is an opt, maybe? Okay. Okay. Now we have information about what this is. So, we're definitely just recruiting for an Archon as soon as possible. And that's it. It's about all we gotta do. Definitely helps our percentage points immensely, so... Immensely. We could also get Sanctum Fire, but I don't think that's what we want. And then I think the best draw from here is a Giver. Once if we can ever get Giver plus Archon on the field, that's pretty much the hard lock. Or yeah, Archon plus Giver. Yeah, I didn't misspeak. So, I mean, this has to be that deck, right? I mean, if they're just going for like a petty theft here, doesn't seem very good. Because they need 5 mana to cast their Cascade cards. Which is like a lot of mana. Like, it's not like you can petty theft this Archon and Living In next turn. Like, that's just not something you can do. So I don't know why they're bouncing that. Seems a little bizarre to me, but to each their own. Hope they go for it. Let's watch them go. Oh, I guess if they have Shardless, they can do it. Guess that's fair, but like I think we can beat their board. Like if they have a 3/3 and a 2/2, it's not particularly strong. It's not particularly strong. So we're gonna look at our top 3. Oh, they're looking at their top 3. Okay. And like I think the longer this game goes, the better off we'll be. As in we'll just get Charming Princes and I think we'll be okay. I think we shall be fine. They probably don't even want to Living In the rest of this game either, so... It's like, you know it's not a good spot when the Living In player does not want to cast their cards. Or cast their Living Ins, so... On thin ice. Well, do we want to cast that? We probably should. Like, it's not great, but like, kinda down. I mean, it just kind of stalls the board. I'm just surprised they didn't like cycle a bunch before doing that. I mean, we'll block, right? Yeah. Weed block. Maul the Sky. That's a pretty good one. I think we might play this Skyclave Cleric just as a land. Being able to crack Canopy plus plus by Yorion's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. Yeah. I'm just gonna run out this Brazen Bar to block. I think that's fine. No blocks. Okay. And we can just use these Charming Princes to gain life too, so I think that's what I'm gonna do if they attack here. I'm just gonna gain 2 or gain 3. Well, we'll definitely be doing that eventually. This is electric. Oh yeah, super electrifying. We are popping off. How's it going, Duke? How's it going? No attacks. Bold. Bold move, opponents. I don't think we're taking this up, so... Got a Vial. Draw a card. Stoneforge Mystic. Well, that's a good one. That's a real good one. Stoneforge Mystic probably spells their doom. And they're just dead next turn to Stoneforge Mystic get... Make a tournament for Eternal Work. You just trying to find my 5 challengers? Oof. Oof. Oh, is today the, I forgot what it's called, but the, oh god, is it the, I don't know exactly what it's called, but that one tournament that you and, no T&E? No T&E, you say? Next Friday, though? Okay, that makes sense. That one makes sense. So I guess they could have exactly Brazen Borrower plus, what does this here? Brazen Borrower, our Archon, and then they Cascade and coax. I don't know. Sometimes he's in here, sometimes he's not. I don't know. He's normally in here just like chilling. Maybe he's busy today. I mean, we're gonna go for lethal here. We're not gonna do anything else. I mean, their hand would have to be Brazen Bar or Cascade, so kind of okay with this. Subtlety. Okay. This makes sense, I guess. Still don't know if this really does anything for them. Alright, buy some Yorion. He would also be barring me up because he hates Death and Taxes. Absolutely hates this deck. So I would be getting barred up right now, so I'm happy. I'm happy. He thinks his deck just doesn't do anything and doesn't win ever. which I guess is a fair point. Deck's definitely not amazing, but, you know. Definitely not amazing, but you know, who gives a shit? I think those are like the only two cards we realistically want. Kataki. Sanctum Fire might have some game. Prelitz is very good. Rhetoric's good. I think that's it. And like, what do we not want? Cleric. Probably don't want. I mean, ices are like okay. I mean, I think Ragavan's just like a fine card. We do need like some way to pressure them and like get our threats down somewhat early. Flicker Wisp is kind of poo-poo. So is Skyclave. I think Skyclave's probably the worst card here. So let's just do that. Just do that. We have cards that we are looking for. Remorseful Cleric, Thalias, Archons, Prelats, and Eidolons, realistically, is what we're looking for. So all the best cards that we have in the deck against them, so. And this is interesting because Saga does find Relic, but we play it 1, 2, 3. I think this is too slow though. Probably too slow. Yeah, this is definitely too slow. We don't have like any of our graveyard hate here. If this had like a vial in it, I think we'd keep, but just too slow. I think we keep this hand though. Put back the Charming Prince. Kind of just hope this Ragavan hits once so we can, and we draw a land here. Ooh, I probably should put back the ice, right? The Anthen Ice. Kind of just need Ragavan to work. Do some work, buddy. Griefing us? Ugh. Well, hand's much worse now. I mean, honestly, it's still not bad. This is why we should have put back Anthen Ice, though. They took Archon over Ragavan. I have a removal spell then. Maybe that's not a bad draw. I think we play that. No. This is Mana Traders. There's a reason this list only has 2 Ragavans, funnily enough. Yeah. I mean, I can't afford on my, whatchamacallit to play Ragavans, so that's pretty good, I guess. It's pretty good, I guess. I think we should get what? Probably, honestly, Maul or Fire Knight. I'm gonna get Fire Knights. Just because if they, yeah, no. It's, I tried getting the full play set, and like, this deck has Sagas and Ragavans, and it was either play with 4 Ragavans, no Sagas, or just 2 Ragavans and 4 Sagas. So I was like, I think Saga's better in this deck anyways, but I did want to try out the Ragavans. So. Am I down to just pass the turn here? Because if we vial in this Ragavan, they probably... Yeah, whatever. Let's do it. They probably living in here if they have it. But I guess that's fine, right? Who cares? Living Indus. Realistically, this Ragavan is just a mana dork. It's nothing insane. I'm assuming they don't have. There's no way they have a Cascade spell, right? I'm acting as if they don't have one because they would have cast it already. Yeah, okay. Wiver Winder. No, sir. What hate cards did we bring in? We brought in Remorseful Cleric, which honestly, I don't know how they beat that card, because we can just sack it and then it comes back, so that seems like the card to find here. Seems like the card to find. What do you rent with, Duocat? Or do you even rent? Wow. Okay. Yeah, we are just not going to move this vial. Period. I don't know how they beat a Remorseful Cleric, I'm not going to lie. Not gonna lie. Don't know how they beat this card. I mean, next turn we just Vial and or Stoneforge Mystic. Literally, we're just gonna leave this Vial on to the rest of this game. And I rent Card Hoarder, but my account is currently paused. Is it because there's so many people playing right now? Won't be back. Yeah, I saw that they paused everything. Yeah. That's fair. Okay. Yeah, I think what we're supposed to do here, what we're meant to do is just literally never play less Remorseful Cleric and leave this Vial onto the rest of the game. I think that's what we're supposed to do, but I'm not actually certain. I could be wrong. Like, maybe we're supposed to run it out now, so we don't have to hold up Vial the rest of the game, but I don't want to... I guess it's fine, right? Because what would they need of... Yeah, let's just do it now. This could be a mistake. This could be like a really big mistake, but I think it's fine. And they don't have a 1-mana Cascade card, so... Yes. Merciful Cleric. I think this game should be locked up. Alright. We got a 5-0. Second 5-0 of the season. Or, yeah. It's pretty nice. Second 5-0. And this was the more spicy list. Actually, I don't know. Our last 5-0 was pretty spicy.